Hello and welcome to City Beat, your central source of information for the city of Rocky Mount. I'm your host, Tamika Keenan Norman, and today's show is exclusively about Mr. Lamont Wiggins, appointed recently by Governor Roy Cooper to serve as North Carolina Superior Court Judge. A big appointment. So we're going to speak with him about this dream come true, about his path to success, and so much more. Stay tuned. More of City Beat is coming up next.
Bye, Janet. It's nice seeing you again. You a good girl. Just let me know what I can do to help.
Well, to help me, she'd have to help every day. Every hour, every ouch, every time my wife calls for help. I mean, maybe she could help me make her lunch. But the crust, all the crust has to be cut off the corners. She could help me run to the doctor for the 5th time this week. Help me with the specialist and the second opinions and the painful paperwork about paperwork. Help me deal with how hard it is seeing my wife's name on so much paperwork. But this is on me. I'm the only one who can do this, like this, for her. Besides,
Take care.
we will. Janet doesn't like her cooking anyway.
Find support for your strength. Visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community.
Hello, and thanks for tuning in to City Beat. We have a very special guest today, Mr. Lamont Wiggins, who was recently appointed North Carolina Superior Court Judge. He's replacing Milton F. Toby Fitch Jr., who retired in February for a seat in the North Carolina General Assembly. So, hello and welcome to City Beat.
Hey, how are you doing, Tamika?
I'm doing good, and this is really a bittersweet moment for me and for many others because you've been on the council for so long, you've had your private law practice. You're going to have to give that up. You're very well respected, not only on the council, but in the community as well. So, but we're happy for you at the same time.
Thank you.
Yeah. How did you feel when Governor Cooper called you?
I can't be any more appreciative of Governor Cooper for giving me this opportunity to serve the citizens of this great state in another broader representative capacity that I have, something that I've aspired to for all of my life as a legal practitioner. And now I get the opportunity to bring all of those experiences together from the standpoint of being a broad-based legal practitioner for 24 years, as well as being an advocate in a different sense, an elected official, public servant for 20 plus years, making policy and moving policy forward from that perspective in local government as well as at the state level, because I've had the opportunity to serve and represent the city on the state level on any number of boards and commissions. So it has afforded me untold opportunities that I could not and would not have had but for the fact that the citizens of the city of Rocky Mount saw fit to elect me and give me the opportunity to serve in that capacity as well. So my kudos and my appreciation to the citizens of the city of Rocky Mount, and again to Governor Cooper for giving me this opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Now, when you first heard about the appointment, was that a call from Governor Cooper, a letter? What
it was
that?
Indeed. It was a call from the governor himself. He actually extended the appointment to me by telephone and expressed his confidence in me. And then within that same day, I was getting a call from the governor's legal counsel saying that we are prepared with a press release and we have your CV. And when we hit the button, you'll know it. You'll get the notice via email. We're going to call you and let you know beforehand, and then you can tell the world.
All right.
That's basically how it transpired.
Okay. You said you got to wind things down in a short period of time. So when will you officially start as Superior Court Judge?
Well, before right now, I am a designated appointee. I will not be vested with that power until such time as I take an oath. Right now, it is forecasted, because again, it's just been March the 29th. I anticipate that I will be sworn sometime towards the end of this month. I will have to nail down those details with other individuals and participants in that process. And then my I anticipate that my resignation from the council will be contemporaneous therewith. So I intend to continue to serve and continue to be available for the citizens of the city of Rocky Mount in that capacity until such time as I actually take the oath as a Superior Court judge.
And you mentioned being here for the citizens of Rocky Mount. How do you think this appointment will help further advance this community?
Well, I'll be serving two communities now. I've always been a member, of course, for 20 years, a member of the Rocky Mount City Council, but now I'm in a position where I'm elected from a district, or be representing as a Superior Court judge, a district that covers two counties, both Edgecombe and Wilson. And this experience in particular from the standpoint of someone who's going to be serving on the bench, I have been given the opportunity to, from a policymaker standpoint, to help put resources in place that help people. As a member of the Rocky Mount City Council, we fund any number of entities. We work with a number of entities that are public service based. They are human service organizations. And that experience has given me a lot of information, a lot of an overview of the resources that are available here in the community to help people. Because unlike most people would think, and in particular in the criminal courts, everybody just thinks of crime and punishment. Well, most people who come before the criminal courts aren't necessarily in a position where they can be incarcerated or are going to be incarcerated. They have issues that come before the court where they might need direction and guidance to those particular community-based resources. This experience on the City Council has helped me because I know all of those resources, and I know those resources, many of them, across county lines, along with the fact that being a local elected official, you have a lot of people that come to you with issues that they want resolutions to. And in that capacity, we have to help them, we being elected officials, public servants, help them, direct and guide them to those resources. So I think that experience is going to help me further and help this community, this area and region. It's going to help me help people better from that perspective.
Mm-hmm. So 20 years, lots of experiences, knowing about a lot of resources like you mentioned. What has probably been one of your most memorable moments serving not only on council, but as a lawyer too?
Well, as a lawyer, my most memorable and my most fond experiences are the many lawyers that I have met over the years, and in particular, the many lawyers that I have had, the many young lawyers that I have had the opportunity to help mentor and guide and give them training and experiences. Since I have been on my own, I actually came back home in 1993, finished law school in 1993, was licensed in early first quarter of 1994. And then after that, I worked with one of my mentors, Robert Evans, who's now the elected district attorney for the 7th Judicial District. He was my mentor. He taught me the practice. And then in 1999, he went to the bench. So I was there by myself, but then others came along. And since 1999, I would say I have mentored at least 5 or 6 or more young attorneys. All of them are still doing well. They are superb practitioners, and that gives me a great deal of pride and joy that I've been able to help that many young lawyers to move forward and succeed. From an elected standpoint, from the council perspective, I have had the opportunity to see this city grow and nurture over 20 years. And when I say grow and nurture, when I came on board in December of 1997, and then in September of 1999, there was Hurricane Floyd. And of course, that was a memorable moment because that was something that this city had never experienced, a natural calamity of that event that impacted not just a few, but it impacted the entire city. And from the standpoint of how we have recovered from that effort, how we are still recovering from that effort. Yet in today's newspaper, there was an article about the housing issues that we hear in the city. But the issues that we have and that we're still are addressing is a direct result of that particular event. But I want to go back and talk about how much we have grown over the years. I can remember even going back 20 years where there were certain roads and thoroughfares that we did not have here. There were certain employers that we did not have here. Our central city was in a state of decline. Now we're in a position where we are turning the corner. The event center is coming up and it is coming online. There is a significant amount of investment not only in our central city core, but also in all areas of our cities, east, west, north, and south. So it looks like, and again, beginning in 1999, seems like we're finally turning the corner from that particular calamity or event. And many of the issues that we've had have been a result of those natural calamities and events. 99, then we had 2011, I believe it was, with Irene, and then Matthew came in 2016. So, and we always have had families, people, impacted, businesses impacted by that. In 1999, we had a whole portion of US 64 that was washed out. US 64 was a helicopter landing zone for about 3 or 4 days. So to see where we were then and to where we are now, those are memorable moments, but they're also significant accomplishments because we are moving fast forward, future forward with the utmost haste.
And you feel it, you see it, and you feel that transformation.
That's right.
You really do. And it's good that you were really instrumental as a part of that.
Yeah, not to mention the employers that we have coming here, the industrial announcements that we've had as of late. We've had a number of significant industrial announcements that not only are within the city, but within the region. And as a result of that, they impact the region. We're going to be putting people to work. People are going to be coming here, and as a result of that, hopefully they're going to be living here.
Can you pinpoint one particular achievement that you've made as a part of council, as a lawyer, that's a part of that transformation? Is there one big achievement for you?
I don't look at it as one big achievement for me because this is all a team effort. In any organization, it's never about one person. And when I say we as an entity, we as a body, everything that I have mentioned to you they're all team achievements. They're all entity achievements. And I can go on with some of the things that we've done. Even in our central city core, where prior to, we have had significant housing starts in our central city core. We've had significant housing starts in the eastern portion of our city, which really, in my estimation, probably starting in the 80s, there was a transition from the central city to other and western parts of our city. Now, all of that is moving in a positive direction with an influx into the city. We have a very low availability of housing. Again, pointing to the study with regard to housing that has just recently been done. We have a Parks and Recreation master plan. We're turning our city into a walkable city. We have more sidewalks than we've ever had in this city, making it a walkable city. Our public transportation is and has been expanded. Our Parks and Recreation master plan, we are improving our parks, and we have an extraordinary number of parks. We are expanding the Tar River Trail, I mean, I can go on and on and on about things that we've done. We've refurbed the South Rocky Mount Community Center. We are rebuilding in the Claremont area, and we have gotten rid of some of the most blight-ridden areas in our city. And when I say we've gotten rid of them, we had older neighborhoods that had these old commercial buildings, and we have gotten rid of a significant number of those structures, understanding that we still have a lot of work to do. We understand that as an entity, we understand that as a body, but we've done a lot of work.
I want to back up a little bit and talk a little bit about your path. You know, Oprah talks a lot about aha moments, moments of self-discovery. And I know you mentioned that this has been a lifelong goal for you. Did you have an aha moment that made you realize that?
Well, early on, I had always endeavored that I wanted to work in the public sector. When I first came out of school, I actually sought out a career in law enforcement, had actually applied, gone through the process with a state law enforcement agency, and then right before I was called for the final interview with that state law enforcement agency, I also got my law school acceptance letter. Okay? So when I got the law school acceptance letter, I opted to go to law school. And that's what started my path. But I always knew that I wanted to be a public servant in some way, shape, form, or fashion. But early on, I chose law enforcement. But this was the path that found me. So, and that's the path that I followed, and I have no regrets whatsoever.
So always lived by that mantra. I think you said service above self.
That is correct, most certainly.
What would be your words of advice to someone who wants to pursue a career similar to yours?
Well, be persistent, always be prepared, educate yourself as best as you can. There are going to be setbacks, but don't let those setbacks in any way deter you from what your goal is. Set that goal, work towards that goal no matter what, and ultimately there's going to be a payoff somewhere down the line. If you set that goal and work towards that goal and do it early on, you know, don't wait till you're 24 or 25 or even 30 years old. Start now at 12, 13, 14, 15 years old and work towards that goal. And if you have the fortitude to do it, there are going to be enough people along the way that are going to help you accomplish that goal.
Challenges, we didn't talk about that. What have been some of your challenges along the way?
Well, I don't necessarily look at, everybody has challenges. I think that what I did early on, and it actually kept, when you talk about advice and success, I think it kind of goes hand in hand. And that is to consistently and to constantly take on challenges, take on things that you are not comfortable with. Because I'm a professional for 24 years, and I have done a lot of things that are some serious things. I have tried jury trials, handled civil cases, and part of my challenge has been where I have had to maintain a practice and still maintain my accessibility and availability to the people who expect it from an elected standpoint. They want to see their elected officials. They want to know that they're in the community. They want to have access to them. And so I say, take on those challenges and rise to those challenges. And they're going to be stumbles. They're going to be pitfalls. There are going to be people who are not going to necessarily like the path or the direction that you might be taking or presenting, but don't stray away from that challenge. Do as much as you can while you can.
Anything else you want to add?
I just want to take this opportunity to tell the public at large and to thank the city staff. This city has an extraordinary city government. It has extraordinary leaders. I have traveled all over the state, and I have traveled all over the country. And I have not been anywhere where I haven't met somebody who hasn't heard about Rocky Mount, or they have been touched in some way by our city staff. Our employees and our workforce is second to none anywhere in the country or the world for that matter. We have the best of the best. And I want to give examples. You know, I talk about 1999, 2011, 2016. We have an entire workforce of first responders. And when I say first responders, in the traditional, not in the traditional sense when people think of police and fire, I've seen department heads, I have seen our city managers, our city manager, the assistant city managers. I have seen people in police, fire, public works, parks and recreation, every last department in this city. When this city needs help and when the citizens of this city need something, they rise to the occasion. I'm talking about people who, in times of need or calamity, work 24/7. They won't go home. They refuse to go home. Line workers and public works workers who I've seen personally sleeping on the side of their trucks. I remember in 1999, I actually witnessed a crew of firemen and public works workers wade through the water to get to a house that was on fire, surrounded by water. And their only words were, "We got the call, we have to go." And that's the attitude of every last city employee in this city. And I want to personally thank all of the city employees who have supported me, supported this city, and supported the citizens, and also thank the citizens of this city for supporting me all these years.
Well, thank you for always putting service above self. We'll go back to that. And we wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for tuning in as well to another edition of City Beat. I'm Tamika Keenan Norman. We'll see you next week.